The phone rang at 2 in the morning. That harsh, jarring sound that shatters sleep and sends your heart racing before you're even fully awake. I fumbled for my phone on the nightstand, knocking over my reading glasses in the process. The screen was too bright in the darkness, making me squint as I tried to focus on the caller ID. Unknown number. My first instinct was to ignore it. At 73 years old, I had learned that calls at this hour were usually mistakes, drunk dials, or scam artists working the graveyard shift. But something stopped me from declining the call. Some instinct, some whisper in my gut that said, answer it. Hello. My voice was rough with sleep. Silence. Then, so quiet I almost missed it, a small voice. Grandma? I sat bolt upright, suddenly wide awake. Lily? Sweetheart, is that you? Grandma, I'm locked up. Her voice was barely above a whisper, trembling with fear. I'm thirsty and hungry. Please, Grandma, please help me. My blood turned to ice. Lily, where are you? Where's your mother? Where's Josh? Josh was my daughter Melissa's boyfriend, the man she had moved in with 6 months ago against my strong objections. I don't know where Mommy is. She left yesterday morning and hasn't come back. Josh locked me in the closet. Grandma, it's dark. I'm scared, and I'm so thirsty. The words hit me like physical blows. My 7-year-old granddaughter was locked in a closet, alone, frightened, and neglected. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the phone. Lily, baby, listen to me very carefully. Are you hurt? Did Josh hurt you? No. He just pushed me in here and locked the door. He said I was being too loud and annoying. That was yesterday after Mommy left. I heard him leave last night, but he didn't let me out first. Grandma, I need water. My throat hurts. I was already out of bed, pulling on clothes with my free hand, my mind racing. Lily, I'm coming right now. Do you know what closet you're in? Can you tell me where in the house? The one in the hallway upstairs, near Mommy's room. Good girl. You're so brave. Can you see any light on the door? A little bit. The hall light is on. Perfect. Now, I want you to stay on the phone with me, okay? Can you do that? Keep talking to Grandma. Okay. Her voice was so small, so frightened. It broke my heart into 1,000 pieces. I grabbed my purse and keys, nearly tripping down my own stairs in my haste. My neighbor's dog started barking as I burst out of my house and ran to my car. I lived 40 minutes from Melissa's place under normal circumstances. I was going to make it in 25. Lily, baby, tell Grandma what happened. When did Mommy leave? Yesterday morning. She and Josh were fighting really loud, screaming. Josh said mean words. Then Mommy cried and left. She said she needed to think. Josh was really mad. He drank the stuff in the brown bottles. Lots of them. Of course he did. Josh was a functioning alcoholic, though Melissa refused to see it. I had tried to warn her, tried to tell her that moving in with a man she barely knew was dangerous, especially with Lily in the picture. But Melissa was 32 and insisted she knew what she was doing. She told me I was being overprotective, that Josh was actually really sweet when you got to know him. Then what happened, sweetheart? I was watching cartoons. I was being quiet. Grandma, I promise. But then the TV was too loud for Josh. He came out and yelled at me, said he had a headache. I said I was sorry and turned it down, but he was still mad. He grabbed my arm and pulled me upstairs. Then he put me in the closet and locked it. My foot pressed harder on the accelerator. The streets were empty at this hour, streetlights flashing by in a blur. Did he give you anything to eat or drink before he locked you in there? No. I had breakfast yesterday morning with Mommy. That's all. 24 hours. My granddaughter had been locked in a closet for 24 hours without food or water. The rage that surged through me was unlike anything I had ever felt. It was white-hot and all-consuming. If Josh had been in front of me at that moment, I don't know what I would have done. How did you call me, baby? Do you have your tablet? Mommy's old phone. She left it in here a long time ago. I found it under some boxes. I remembered your number because you made me practice it. I charged it with the charger that was in here, too. but it only has a little battery left. You are such a smart, brave girl. I'm so proud of you. Keep talking to me, okay? Tell me about school. What did you do at school this week? I needed to keep her talking, keep her calm, keep her connected to me. I also needed to keep myself from completely falling apart. My daughter had left my granddaughter alone with an alcoholic boyfriend who had then locked a child in a closet, like she was nothing more than an inconvenience. Lily told me about her art class, about how she had painted a rainbow, about her friend Emma, who had moved away, about a book her teacher had read them. Her voice was getting weaker, more hoarse. She needed water desperately. Grandma, I have to go potty. But I can't. There's no bathroom in here. I know, sweetheart. I know. Just hold on a little longer. I'm almost there. I was flying down the highway now, well over the speed limit. If a cop stopped me, good. They could escort me the rest of the way. I would explain everything, and they could help me get Lily out of that house. Grandma, the phone says low battery. It's okay. We're going to stay on as long as we can. If it dies, don't be scared. I'm coming. I promise I'm coming. Okay, Grandma. I knew you would. I told myself if I could just call you, you would save me. You always save me. Tears streamed down my face. When had I become Lily's only safe harbor? When had my daughter become so lost that she would leave her child in danger? I knew the answer. It had been gradual. Melissa had always been a troubled soul, even as a child. Her father, my ex-husband, had left when she was 3. He had been an angry, violent man, and his departure had been a blessing. But Melissa had interpreted his leaving as rejection, as proof that she was unlovable. No amount of my love had been enough to heal that wound. She had grown into a woman who desperately sought male approval, who jumped from relationship to relationship, each man worse than the last. Josh was just the latest in a long line of mistakes. But this was the worst one yet, because now there was a child involved. Now the consequences of Melissa's poor choices fell on innocent shoulders. Grandma, I hear something. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. What do you hear? The door downstairs. Someone's coming in. Is it Mommy's voice? I don't know. I can't hear good. Wait. No. It's Josh. He's yelling. He's saying bad words. Lily, listen very carefully. I want you to be very, very quiet. Don't make any noise. Can you do that? Yes, she whispered, her voice now almost inaudible. If Josh comes near that closet door, you stay quiet. Don't say anything. Pretend you're not there. I'm 5 minutes away. 5 minutes, baby. I heard Josh's voice in background, slurred and angry. He was screaming about something, his words incomprehensible but his rage crystal clear. I heard things being thrown, furniture being knocked over. He was in a violent rage, and my granddaughter was trapped in that house with him. I took the exit doing 60, barely slowing down. Melissa's neighborhood was just ahead. 2 more minutes. Grandma, he's coming upstairs. I can hear him on the stairs. Stay quiet, baby. Stay very quiet. I'm scared. I know you are, but you're the bravest girl I know. Just stay quiet. I heard Josh's footsteps on the phone, heard his angry muttering. Then I heard something that made my heart stop. The sound of a lock being turned. What's this? Josh's voice, loud and furious. You got a phone? Who the hell did you call? Please don't hurt me, Lily whimpered. Who did you call? Josh roared. I heard a scream. Lily scream. Then the phone went dead. I don't remember the last 2 blocks. I don't remember parking. I only remember running, my 73-year-old body moving faster than it had in decades, fueled by pure terror and adrenaline. I hit Melissa's front door and tried the handle. Locked. I could hear shouting inside, hear Lily crying. Without thinking, I grabbed one of the decorative rocks from Melissa's garden bed and hurled it through the front window. Glass shattered everywhere. I reached through, ignoring the glass cutting my arm, and unlocked the door from the inside. The living room was destroyed. Furniture overturned, bottles everywhere, a lamp shattered on the floor. I ran for the stairs, following the sound of Lily's cries. Lily, where are you? Grandma! Her voice came from upstairs. I took the stairs as fast as I could, my knees protesting but my determination unwavering. At the top of the stairs, I found them. Josh had Lily by the arm, dragging her down the hallway. She was fighting him, crying, terrified. "Let her go!" I screamed. Josh turned, his eyes bloodshot and unfocused. He was drunk, very drunk. "This is none of your business. Old woman, this is my house." "Like hell it is. Let go of my granddaughter right now." "Or what? You gonna stop me?" He laughed, a horrible sound. "Look at you. You're ancient. What are you gonna do?" What I did surprised us both. I charged at him like a linebacker, putting all my weight into it. Josh, drunk and unsteady, wasn't prepared. He released Lily as he stumbled backward, trying to catch his balance. He failed. He fell backward, hard, hitting his head on the wall before sliding to the floor. I didn't wait to see if he was okay. I grabbed Lily, scooping her into my arms. She wrapped her arms and legs around me, clinging like a baby monkey, sobbing into my shoulder. "It's okay, baby. Grandma's here. Grandma's got you." I carried her down the stairs, stepping over Josh's scattered belongings, to the destroyed living room and out the broken front door. Only when we were outside in the cool night air did I set her down to look at her. She was so small, so fragile. Her face was dirty with tear tracks. Her clothes were the same ones she had been wearing for a day and a half. Her lips were cracked and dry from dehydration. But she was safe. She was with me. "Water," she croaked. "Please, Grandma." I had a bottle of water in my car. I always kept one there. I carried it in my car and gave it to her, watching as she gulped it down desperately. "Slow down, sweetheart. Slow sips. Your stomach needs to adjust." She nodded and tried to slow down, but she was so thirsty. When the bottle was empty, she looked up at me with those big eyes, so much like her mother's used to be before the world had hardened her. "Are you taking me home with you?" "Yes, baby. Yes, I am." "Forever?" The question broke my heart. "We'll figure it out. But you're safe now. You're going to stay with Grandma, and no one is ever going to lock you in a closet again." I called 911 for my car. I told them everything. About Lily being locked up, about Josh's violence, about Melissa's abandonment. I waited until I saw the police lights approaching before I allowed myself to really feel what had just happened. My granddaughter had been locked in a closet, starving and dehydrated, by my daughter's boyfriend while my daughter was nowhere to be found. If Lily hadn't found that phone, if she hadn't remembered my number, if I hadn't answered, I couldn't finish that thought. It was too horrible. The police arrived along with an ambulance. The paramedics checked Lily over while I gave my statement to the officers. They went into the house and found Josh still on the floor upstairs, conscious but dazed. They arrested him immediately for child endangerment and assault. One of the officers, a kind woman probably in her 40s, sat with me while the paramedics worked with Lily. "You did the right thing, ma'am. That little girl is lucky to have you. I should have done more sooner. I knew Josh was bad news. I knew my daughter was making a mistake. I should have been more involved. You can't blame yourself for the choices adults make. Your daughter made her decisions. Josh made his. You did what you could when it mattered most. You saved that child." The paramedics determined that Lily was dehydrated, but otherwise okay. They wanted to take her to the hospital for a more thorough check, and I rode with her in the ambulance, holding her hand the whole way. At the hospital, they gave her 4 fluids and ran tests. A social worker came and talked to us. Her name was Patricia, and she had gentle eyes and a calm demeanor that immediately put Lily at ease. "Lily, can you tell me what happened?" Patricia asked. Lily looked at me, and I nodded encouragingly. She told the story again, this time with more details. How Josh had been drinking, how he got angry at small things, how this wasn't the first time he had been mean to her, but it was the first time he had locked her away. "Has he ever hit you?" Patricia asked gently. "No, but he pushed me sometimes, and he grabbed my arm hard. It left marks." Patricia examined Lily's arm and found fading bruises in the shape of fingerprints. She documented everything, took pictures, asked more questions. Through it all, I held Lily's other hand, providing silent support. "Where's your mother, Lily? Do you know?" She said she was going to her friend Rachel's house. She goes there when she's upset. I knew Rachel. I had her number. I had been so focused on Lily that I hadn't even thought to call Melissa. The anger I felt toward my daughter at that moment was overwhelming. How could she leave her child? How could she just walk away? Patricia turned to me. "Mrs. Morrison, given the circumstances, I'm going to recommend that Lily be placed in your care temporarily. We'll need to locate her mother and conduct a full investigation, but it's clear that the current living situation is unsafe. Of course, Lily can stay with me as long as she needs to. Forever, if necessary." "Forever," Lily repeated, squeezing my hand. The hospital released Lily around 6 in the morning. I took her home as the sun was rising, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. She fell asleep in the car, exhausted from her ordeal. I carried her inside and put her in my guest room, the one I always kept ready for her visits. I stood in the doorway watching her sleep, this precious child who had been through so much. Her breathing was steady and peaceful now. The 4 fluids had helped tremendously. She would be okay physically. The emotional scars would take longer to heal. My phone rang around 9. Melissa's name appeared on the screen. I stepped into the hallway and closed Lily's door before answering. "Mom, what's going on?" "The police just called me. They said something happened with Lily. They said Josh was arrested." The fury I had been holding back erupted. "What's going on? What's going on, Melissa? Your daughter called me at 2 in the morning because she had been locked in a closet for 24 hours without food or water by your drunk boyfriend. That's what's going on." "What? No, that can't be right. Josh wouldn't." "Yes, he would." "He did. I was there, Melissa. I heard him. I saw him. He had dragged her out of the closet and was manhandling her when I arrived. He's exactly what I told you he was. He's dangerous. And you left Lily alone with him. I didn't know he would do that. I just needed some space. We had a fight, and I needed to clear my head." "You needed space? You needed space. Your 7-year-old daughter needed food and water. She needed safety. She needed her mother. But instead, she got locked in a closet while you were off, clearing your head, and while your boyfriend got drunk and violent. Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I'll come get her right now. I'll make this right." No, you won't. Lily is staying with me. Child Services is involved now, Melissa. There's going to be an investigation. And even if there wasn't, I would not let you take her back to that house. Josh is in jail, but that doesn't change the fact that you abandoned her. You left a child alone with a man you barely know, a man who drinks too much and has a temper. What were you thinking? I love Josh. He's good to me. He just has problems sometimes. I thought if I gave him space, he would calm down. I didn't think. That's the problem. Melissa, you didn't think. You never think. You just chase after any man who give you attention, and you drag Lily through your chaos. Well, not anymore. Not this time. You can't keep my daughter from me. She's my child. Then act like it. Act like a mother. Put her needs before your own for once in your life. There was silence on the other end of the line. Then quietly, "I do love her, Mom. I know I mess up a lot. I know I'm not the mother you want me to be. But I do love my daughter. Love isn't enough, Melissa. Love without action is meaningless. Love without protection is dangerous." Lily told me this wasn't the first time Josh had been rough with her. She said he pushed her, grabbed her hard enough to leave bruises. You saw those bruises. You had to have seen them. And you did nothing. I told him to be more careful. I told him Lily was sensitive. Sensitive? She's a child. She's not supposed to have to toughen up to survive in her own home. She's supposed to be safe, protected, cherished. Instead, she's learning that the adults in her life can't be trusted, that her mother will choose a man over her, that speaking up gets her locked in closets. That's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. It's not fair to Lily. None of this is fair to her. What do I have to do to get her back? You need to leave Josh. Permanently. You need to get counseling. You need to prove to child services that you can provide a safe, stable home for your daughter. And most importantly, you need to understand that Lily's needs come before your need for male companionship. Can you do that, Melissa? Can you actually put your daughter first? Another long silence. I don't know if I can leave Josh. I love him. And there it was. The truth. My daughter loved her abusive, alcoholic boyfriend more than she loved the idea of having her daughter back. Or at least, she wasn't willing to make the choice right now. Maybe she would eventually. Maybe hitting rock bottom would wake her up. But I couldn't wait for maybes. Lily couldn't wait. Then Lily stays with me. I'm going to file for emergency custody. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure she never has to go back to that house. Mom, please. No. I'm done, Melissa. I've watched you make bad decision after bad decision for 32 years. I've bailed you out, cleaned up your messes, taken care of Lily when you couldn't or wouldn't. I'm not enabling you anymore. You want your daughter back? You know what you need to do. The question is whether you love her enough to do it. I hung up. My hands were shaking, my heart pounding. I had never been that harsh with Melissa before. I had always tried to be understanding, supportive, believing that with enough love and patience, she would eventually figure things out. But that approach had failed. It had failed Melissa, and more importantly, it had failed Lily. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of meetings with social workers, lawyers, and therapists. Patricia, the social worker from the hospital, became a regular presence in our lives. She was thorough but compassionate, clearly concerned about Lily's well-being above all else. The investigation revealed that Josh had a history of violence. He had been arrested twice before for assault, both times in domestic situations. Melissa either hadn't known or hadn't cared enough to find out. He was charged with child endangerment, false imprisonment, and assault. He would spend time in jail, and he would never be allowed near Lily again. Melissa came to visit Lily twice in those first few weeks. The visits were supervised, held at the child services office with Patricia present. They were awkward and painful to watch. Melissa tried to act like nothing had happened, bringing gifts and talking about trivial things. Lily was polite but distant. The trust had been broken. After the second visit, Lily cried in the car on the way home. "Why doesn't Mommy understand?" she asked. "Why doesn't she get that I was scared? That Josh was mean? She keeps saying it wasn't a big deal, that I'm overreacting." I pulled over the side of the road and turned to face her. Sometimes, sweetheart, grown-ups have a hard time admitting when they've made mistakes. It's easier for your mom to tell herself that it wasn't that bad than to face the fact that she put you in danger. That doesn't make it right, but it's what's happening. Do you think she'll ever leave Josh? I don't know, baby. I hope so, but that's her choice to make. What matters right now is that you're safe. You're with me, and no one is going to hurt you here. I know, Grandma. I always feel safe with you. The custody hearing was scheduled for 3 months after the incident. In that time, Melissa had not left Josh. She had, in fact, moved him back into her house as soon as he was released on bail. She had missed 2 scheduled visits with Lily and had called only a handful of times. Patricia recommended that I be granted full custody with supervised visitation for Melissa. The judge agreed. At the hearing, Melissa barely said anything in her own defense. She looked tired and defeated, and for a moment, I felt sorry for her. She was still my daughter, still the little girl I had raised and loved. But then I looked at Lily, sitting between me and Patricia, and my resolve hardened. Lily deserved better. She deserved stability, safety, and unconditional love. She deserved someone who would put her first, always. If Melissa couldn't be that person, then I would be. The judge granted me full legal custody. Melissa was allowed supervised visits once a month, contingent on her sobriety and her separation from Josh. As we left the courthouse, Melissa approached us. "Can I talk to her? Just for a minute?" I looked at Patricia, who nodded. I stepped back, but stayed close enough to intervene if necessary. Melissa knelt down in front of Lily. "Hey, baby girl." "Hi, Mom." "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you, and I know saying sorry doesn't fix it. But I want you to know that I love you. I've always loved you, even when I didn't show it the right way. Then why didn't you pick me? Lily's voice was small but clear. Why did you pick Josh over me? Melissa's face crumpled. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I don't know, baby. I wish I had a good answer. I wish I could explain it in a way that made sense. But I can't. All I can say is that Grandma is going to take good care of you. She's going to give you everything you deserve. And maybe someday when I figure myself out, we can try again. But right now, you need to be with Grandma. It was the most self-aware thing I had heard Melissa say in years. Maybe there was hope for her yet. But even if there was, Lily couldn't wait for it. She needed stability now. Lily hugged her mother. I love you, Mom. I hope you figure out. Me too, baby. Me too. We walked away then, Lily's small hand in mine. As we got in the car, she looked up at me. Am I really going to live with you forever? As long as you need to. Sweetheart, this is your home now. Good. I like it better with you anyway. You make me feel safe. That night, after I tucked Lily into bed and read her 2 chapters of her current favorite book, I sat in my living room and allowed myself to really process everything that had happened. 3 months ago, I had been a grandmother who saw her grandchild occasionally, who worried from the sidelines about her daughter's poor choices. Now, I was a full-time parent again at 73 years old. It wasn't what I had planned for this stage of my life. I had imagined traveling, taking up new hobbies, enjoying the freedom that comes with age. Instead, I was packing school lunches, attending parent-teacher conferences, and monitoring homework. But when I checked on Lily before bed and saw her sleeping peacefully, her face relaxed and content, I knew it was worth it. Every early morning, every tired evening, every sacrifice was worth it to see this child thrive. Over the following months, Lily blossomed. Her nightmares became less frequent. She laughed more easily. She made friends at her new school. She joined a soccer team and discovered she loved playing goalie. She took art classes at the community center and filled my refrigerator with colorful paintings. She still had hard days, days when she missed her mother, when she asked difficult questions I didn't always know how to answer, days when the trauma of what happened surfaced in unexpected ways. But we worked through it together with the help of a wonderful child therapist who specialized in trauma. Melissa continued her supervised visits sporadically. Sometimes she showed up sober and engaged. Other times she missed appointments or arrived clearly not in the right state of mind. The visits that did happen became less awkward over time, but the relationship between Melissa and Lily had fundamentally changed. Lily no longer looked to her mother for security or guidance. She was polite, even affectionate, but there was a guardedness that hadn't been there before. A year after the incident, Melissa called me. Mom, I need to tell you something. What is it? I left Josh. For real this time. I moved out last week. I'm staying with Rachel. I felt a surge of hope, immediately tempered by caution. That's good, Melissa. That's a good first step. I know it's just a first step. I know I have a long way to go. But I'm starting therapy. Real therapy, not just the court-mandated stuff. And I'm going to AA meetings. I'm trying, Mom. I'm really trying. What made you finally do it? It was Lily's 8th birthday last month. I missed it. I was supposed to have a supervised visit, but I was too hungover to make it. And I realized that I've missed so much of her life. I've missed years of memories because I was too caught up in my own mess. And if I don't change now, I'm going to miss everything. She's going to grow up, and I'm going to be nothing more than that unreliable woman who visits once a month. That's very insightful, Melissa. Will you tell her? Tell her that I'm trying? That I'm going to do better? I'll tell her. But, Melissa, you need to understand something. Words don't mean much to Lily anymore. She's heard promises before. What matters is action. What matters is consistency. Can you give her that? I'm going to try. I'm going to try so hard. Then we'll see. Take it one day at a time. Focus on yourself first. Get healthy, get stable. Lily will still be here when you're ready. True to her word, Melissa stayed away from Josh. She got a job as a receptionist at a dental office. She attended therapy and AA regularly. Her supervised visits with Lily became more consistent, more genuine. She stopped making excuses and started taking responsibility. It took another year before the therapist and social worker agreed to unsupervised visits. Melissa took Lily to lunch, to the movies, to the park. The visits were short at first, just a few hours, but gradually they extended. Melissa was careful not to overpromise or disappoint. She was reliable in a way she never had been before. "I think Mom is really changing," Lily said one day. She was 9 now, growing tall and confident. "She seems different." "People can change if they want it badly enough." I told her, "Your mom is doing the hard work. I'm proud of her." "Do you think I'll ever live with her again?" It was a question I had been dreading. "I don't know, sweetheart. Maybe someday. But that's a long way off, and it would only happen if everyone agreed it was safe and right. How do you feel about it?" "I don't know. I love Mom, but I love living with you too. You're like my mom now. Is that bad?" "No, baby, that's not bad at all. You can love both of us. Love doesn't run out. And no matter what happens, you'll always have a home with me." By the time Lily turned 10, Melissa had been sober for 2.5 years. She had her own apartment. She had maintained her job. She had rebuilt relationships with people she had hurt. She was a different person than the woman who had left her daughter alone with a violent drunk. The subject of Lily moving back with Melissa came up in a family therapy session. Lily was older now, able to articulate her own feelings and needs. "I want to spend more time with Mom," Lily said, "but I don't want to leave Grandma. Can I both?" We worked out a new arrangement. Lily would stay with me during the school week and spend weekends with Melissa. It would be a trial period, closely monitored. If it went well, we could discuss more permanent arrangements. The new schedule worked surprisingly well. Melissa treasured her weekends with Lily and never took them for granted. She planned activities, helped with homework, and showed up for Lily's soccer games. She was the mother she should have been all along. I was still Lily's primary caregiver, but I no longer felt like I was doing it alone. Melissa was finally showing up, finally being the parent her daughter needed. It wasn't perfect. There were still challenges, still moments when old patterns threatened to resurface. But Melissa had tools now, support systems, a commitment to staying healthy. One Saturday afternoon, about 3 years after that terrible night, when Lily had called me from the closet, Melissa came to my house. She had tears in her eyes. "Mom, I need to thank you." "For what?" "For saving Lily. For saving me, really. If you hadn't answered that call, if you hadn't fought for her, I don't know where we'd be. Lily might have been seriously hurt, and I would have lost her forever. But you gave us a second chance. You raised my daughter when I couldn't. You showed her what real love looks like. And you never gave up on me, even when you should have. You're my daughter, Melissa. I could never give up on you. But I had to prioritize Lily. She was the innocent one in all of this. I know, and I'm so grateful you did. Seeing Lily thrive with you, seeing how happy and confident she became, it woke me up. It made me realize what I was missing, what I was throwing away. You didn't just save Lily that night. You saved me too. We hugged then, mother and daughter. Healing wounds had been open for decades. Lily is 13 now. She's a bright, resilient, compassionate young woman who wants to be a social worker when she grows up. She says she wants to help kids like her, kids who need someone to fight for them. She still lives with me during the week, though we've loosened the restrictions on her time with Melissa. They have a good relationship now, different than before, but healthier. Melissa finally learned to be the parent Lily deserved, even if it took a crisis to get her there. People sometimes ask me if I regret taking on the responsibility of raising my granddaughter at my age. They say things like, "You should be enjoying your retirement, not dealing with a teenager." But here's what they don't understand. That phone call in the middle of the night, that tiny voice saying, "Grandma, I'm locked up, thirsty and hungry." It didn't just call me to rescue Lily. It called me to my